Hey yo, it's Hip Hop DJ Eternal 88. What's going on, y'all? So I'm here to talk about today what everybody's talking about on the internet, on social media, which is Adam22, right? And No Jumper, the Big U indictment, the Rolling 60s indictment. All these things being talked about. Then you had the 4 extra dude come home, right? I think that's his name. And then he goes on Adam's podcast, talks a bunch of whatever. Then he goes to a hood day and his PO pulls up and takes him right back to jail. He just got out. Now, it seems to me like Adam22 is exploiting all this in the same way that he's exploiting the Big U Rolling 60s indictment. And Tasha K has a lot to say about all this, right? But I'm going to get into that in a second. We're going to play a little video from her and everything. But I will say quick, though, that these guys do this to themselves. Even from behind the wall, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, they're running content and they love the clout more than their own freedom. But Adam22 is being exposed by Tasha K, though, y'all. No bullshit. Tasha K is saying her LAPD friends is telling her that Adam22's podcast or his whole organization has to go because it's being used for gangs in LA to come talk about each other, and it's sparking all kinds of violence. You know what I mean? And it's just out of hand at this point, I guess. And what they mean by that is one gang will come up here and talk about another. And not only is it them two beefing now, one person versus one person, it's a whole gang versus a whole gang. So if one member from that gang sees each other, it's violence. It's not just between them two people. You know what I mean? So Adam22's podcast, like if you've seen this one kid go up there, he got a bunch of tattoos on his face. He's from LA somewhere. I don't even remember his name, but you see him go up there, Adam22 starts asking him about crime, he just gets quiet. He don't say nothing. Then you've seen another one recently where Adam22's asking these kids about Boosie, younger guys about Boosie, his federal case. And they're like, well, I hope he don't get in trouble. And he kicks his friend's foot. You know what I mean? Like, some people are smart enough. Even young dudes from Philly were smart enough. Like Drench Season. They were even smart enough to be like, bro, we don't even know what you're talking about. We don't do no crime. You know what I mean? Like, but some of these guys, though, they love the clout more than their own freedom. No bullshit. They really do, because these guys are literally, Loose Cannon has his wife running content. Like, this shit is just crazy. But do I think No Jumper, I got more to say about that. Just give me a second. But the No Jumper, I don't think it's going to go away completely, but I do believe that Adam will have to pivot eventually from gang content. I mean, maybe not all the way, but at least like slow it down, because it's out of control right now. If you ask me, when people are getting hurt and going to jail behind things that's being said on your platform, it goes way beyond content. I don't think you could even call it content at that point. And if you do, the cops or the feds are going to be all over you. You know, the thing that I just said a second ago that really confuses me is Loose Cannon's wife is using jail phone calls for content. And I'm pretty sure that's usually not allowed in the feds. Actually, I'm more than sure. I Googled it, and that's what it says on Google. And what I also been told from friends of mine or people that I know that have been in the feds. But I will say this. I believe the feds want Big U and the Rolling 60s gang to go down so bad that they'll actually let this stuff go and let them make this content. Just like the same reason they probably, if it's true, they put Loose Cannon and Brick Baby in a cell together. If that's true, they did that for a fucking reason. I mean, honestly, like, what the hell? Like, what do you think? They're just letting y'all run content, letting y'all be cellies? Like, they're just looking out for you guys. No, they're doing it so you keep running your mouth and keep telling on yourself and keep telling on others and then trying to call it content. Like, I hate when they say, oh, it's content, it's content. It's like, bro, some things aren't content. Real life isn't supposed to be content. Content is like entertainment. It can be based off of real life, but you're not putting out like these kinds of things consistently and then just, oh, no, it's not snitching, it's content. No, you're snitching on yourself and other people. If you're telling a story about crimes that you committed, how is that not, and with other people, and you're naming them, how is that not snitching? What do you call it then? Content? No, hell no. If you watch Trap Lord Ross' recent documentary, right, you'll see all this stuff I'm saying. Like, honestly, you'll see it all being played out over and over. It plays out over and over and over again, where they'll tell stories of extortion, violence, like it's legal. And according to Tasha K, the feds will be using these interviews as evidence in the Rolling 60s indictment. Tasha K also says something that kind of like sparked my interest a little bit, to be honest, right? Not only did she say all these interviews will be used, the content will be used, Adam22's got to go, but she also said, how is WAC 100 the only one out of all these people to not get in no trouble when he's in the midst of everything? He's in the midst of it all. It's like he comes with a daily report to social media and the internet every day from the feds. And this is what Tasha K is saying, not me. And she brings it to the internet. I mean, he brings it to the internet because he knows. How does he know, about every fucking indictment, even ones that didn't happen yet? Like, how does he just know all this? Like, that's Tasha K saying this. Like, how? And I'll be honest, I kind of wonder that too. How would you know about all this crap if you're not involved with some kind of feds or something? I know he's friends with Reggie Wright, and Reggie Wright's an ex-cop. His dad's a retired cop. So maybe they get information. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe they do. Maybe that's what it is. But Tasha K does make some good ass points. I ain't gonna lie. I also, to be honest, I believe or wonder, or whatever you want to say, I wonder if crimes are being talked about and crimes are happening from things that are being talked about on No Jumper, right? Then at what point will Adam22 be held accountable? For real. Like, at what point would it be like, well, wait a second. If this happened because, all right, just say somebody goes on there, like one of the gang members from one gang. I'm not even going to say no gang names. I'm just going to say one gang member goes on there, talks about another gang. Then that other gang comes on there and talks about that gang. And then somebody ends up getting shot or killed over it or beat up or hurt. At what point does Adam, like, does he get, like, held accountable for that? Just like the dude that came up to the studio, I don't even remember his name. Some weird ass name, like from the one undercover cop from In Too Deep. I forget what his name was, but that's the same name as this guy. He came up here and he got beat up by Loose Cannon and them pretty bad when he was actually coming there to do some kind of interview. But Adam22 said he knew nothing about it, I guess, or whatever. But like, that's still people coming to your studio. Like, how are you not getting... I think Tasha K is right, bro. Like, I'm going to play her video in 1 second real quick, but all this shit is shit that she's saying and shit that I'm seeing. And it's just like, at what point is Adam going to get held accountable for all this? Or one of my theories is, did he already get held accountable? And that's why he's saying he's getting rid of... He's going... No Jumper's going broke. Because he gotta fit. Something's gotta happen. If the feds are saying, oh, Adam22's gotta go, then they had to have told him that too. They're not just gonna tell some guy that tells Tasha K this. Like, or who knows? Maybe Tasha K's not telling the truth all the way. I really don't know. You know what I mean? Because she's also saying that the little baby 4PF indictment is really going to happen. Because I guess somehow Little Baby is intertwined with Big U. That's what she's saying. And she's saying she heard the indictment is coming. And I've heard that from multiple people too, which I don't want that to happen. I'm a Little Baby fan. And he did try to get away from shit. So he, hopefully he got away in time. That's what I hope. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think like changing the name of your label was the thing to do. Because if it was a label, it should have stayed a label. Now it's probably not a... What is it now? You know what I mean? That's the thing that kind of messes him up, if you ask me. But either way, let's get into this Tasha K video. I'm going to play this. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe for me. Let me know if you think all the stuff I'm saying sounds on point or what y'all really think, man. It's Hip Hop DJ D-Eternal88. Let's get it.
It feels like you've got an asset on your hands and you're trying to move these assets because you got a lot of lawsuits underway, okay? And, it takes money to keep money. Okay. And so here's the thing. So I called up a little friend of mine that happens to work in, the PD's office, LAPD. And apparently Adam is not telling the whole story. Now he is more than welcome to come on the platform and address it. I just kind of felt like I wasn't going to get the entire truth because it's got to do with a lot of that RICO stuff that's going on with Big U and Whack 100 and all those guys. And so apparently he went from doing like I guess just regular underground rapper content to now it's content to ignite street beef, and then they come and talk on the platform about street beef, and then they carry out the street beef, and then they use it to send shots at each other, sort of like what Vlad was doing for a while, and then he stopped. You know what I'm saying? Because he was getting, he was being called a fed and everything like that because they were asking to use his footage, even though he says he never gave them any footage. Okay, whatever. So that's what his platform evolved into, especially when he had linked with Whack 100. Okay, and Whack 100 claims that he's, I guess, some type of set pyro. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't really live that lifestyle. I've never dealt with people that live that lifestyle. But here's what I'm being told is that Adam gotta go, and the platform has gotta go, because the thing about it is, it's like, it's caused so many disruptions in the community with them using his platform to ignite beef, and then they talk about the beef, and then they send shots. They're going to be queuing all of that content to use to build a case on these people that they just recently arrested, Big U and all those people. And so in order for him to not be labeled a snitch, even though his content snitches and they were snitching on themselves, it's better to just kind of pack up and move out of Dodge. He makes a nice little living, selling his wife and selling his penis. He told me personally he's been with over like 700 people. I was literally scared to even touch him. Like that, to me, that's very disgusting. And so he's trying to get up out of that mix before he gets labeled something that he doesn't want to get labeled, and then he really has to kind of look over his shoulders like this, because they're going to be coming for his ass. So apparently Loose Cannon and all those guys that got locked up under this RICO charge under Big U, and they're slated to do Lil Baby here next. The reason they're slated to do Lil Baby, from what I'm hearing, is because Lil Baby is intertwined with Big U's organization. And so, yes, the talk of him catching a RICO is very, very real. And that's shocking to me, because I really thought Lil Baby had like learned his lesson and was staying out of the streets and stuff, but apparently not. I just don't understand how you got this much money, but it's just not enough. Why do you, if you fight so hard to get up out of a war zone, like Dirk getting out of Chicago, Thug getting out of, the hood of Atlanta, like they blessed you. Why do you keep going back? And then when you go back, they killing each other. And so this is what's happening. And so they're saying that his platform was used and will be used to put together the cases that they have on these men that they indicted. And so he's just basically trying to cut his losses now, because it's going to go south. Either he could just walk away now and no one will know what footage was being used and things like that, or, he can just kind of face his fate.
So I know that was a pretty long video, but if y'all stayed and y'all watched it all the way through, I really appreciate y'all. Hit that like and subscribe for me. Let me know what y'all think about all this in the comment section. Do you think that No Jumper is going to be out of here soon? Or do you think that it's all a bunch of hype and Adam22 is just a marketing genius? I don't really think so. I believe there's something that he's not telling us, like she just said. I do believe that. I believe there's definitely stuff that he's not telling everybody. And obviously, he's going to say he's going broke when he's getting sued by a bunch of people. That makes sense. You know what I mean? I think that's what millionaires do all the time. I'm pretty sure, you know what I mean? They start moving the assets around and shit like that, But as far as him being held accountable for crimes that happened because of interviews or crimes that were talked about on his podcast, like, I wonder if that's ever going to happen, because I'm pretty sure there's got to be some kind of law, like, and I don't want this shit to happen, but it's just like, what the hell? Like, how does all this, you know what I mean? It just kind of confuses me, because there's got to be some kind of laws where, like, all right, if you have this happen in your platform and things start transpiring because of things that are being talked about on your famous platform, that's almost like y'all should be held accountable for some of that shit in some kind of way. Maybe not like, going to jail or anything, but maybe in some kind of fines. I don't fucking know. But all I know is it all makes a lot of sense what Tasha K has said. It really does. All the shit she said, she's on point. And if go watch Trap Lord Ross, the documentary that he put out on the Big U and the Rolling 60s, man. That documentary got every video that you need to see about Loose Cannon, if you're interested in all this, that you need to see about Loose Cannon and Brick Baby and Big U. There's shit on there I never seen before, man. There's a video on there like Big U fighting like 6 Samoans or 15 or whatever. However, it was a bunch of guys fighting them. Him and another guy fought like 15 guys. And then you see the Game, T.I., all these gang members showing up to that spot, asking where the guy was that kicked Big U while he was down. Like, people must really, like, had a lot of respect for Big U. If you got Pete Game coming out, the Game, he's a pretty famous rapper. And that's another thing that confuses me, too, right there, mind you, is how is the Game so cool with Big U, but Whack 100 is his manager? Throws me off, man. I don't know. The LA politics really throw me off and confuse a lot. I think anybody from the outside looking in is like, well, how does this dot connect to this dot? That dot connect to this dot? It's just a lot. You know what I'm trying to say? But either way, man, it's Hip Hop DJ D Eternal 88. Hit that like and subscribe for me, y'all. We out.